Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Teacher killed in two-vehicle crash in St. Elizabeth. The Savannah Lamar Primary School in Westmoreland has been plunged into mourning following the news that a newly hired teacher died as a result of injuries she sustained in a two-vehicle crash on the Front Hill Main Road in St. Elizabeth on Friday morning. The deceased has been identified as 31-year-old Danielle Blake from Sandy Ground in St. Elizabeth. Blake was a Spanish teacher at the institution. Reports are that about 11:30 a.m., a Mitsubishi L200 heading towards Black River swerved to avoid a pothole and collided with the taxi in which Blake was a passenger. Blake and the driver of the taxi were seriously hurt. 6 other people were also injured in the incident. Blake was pronounced dead at hospital, while the others were admitted for treatment. Police seeking man who stabbed his sister to death. The St. Andrew South Police are seeking a man who allegedly killed his sister and wounded another on Denver Crescent in Kingston 20 on September 20. The deceased has been identified as Kenisha Royal of New Barton Road in Marvelly, Kingston 20. Reports from the police are that about 7 p.m., an argument developed between the 3 siblings over food items. The argument became physical, and the brother allegedly stabbed his sisters multiple times. Both women were taken to hospital, where Royal was pronounced dead and the other sister was treated and released. Investigations continued. Calls for Christie's resignation amid comments on IG director's shooting. There has been several calls for the executive director of the Integrity Commission, Greg Christie, to resign from his post following comments made after the shooting of a fellow director on Thursday. In response to calls for comment on the incident, Christie told members of the media to pose all questions to the government. Those calling for Christie's resignation include King's Counsel Peter Champagne in the Jamaica Accountability, Met Portal JAMP, and G2K, the young professional affiliated of the Jamaica Labour Party JLP, say the IC executive director's comments are unacceptable and irresponsible, pointing out that they appreciate the work of the IC. JAMP, in their statement on Friday, said Christie's comments has further compromised the confidence of many Jamaicans. The Jamaican Accountability Met Portal has noted, with grave concern, the response of the Integrity Commission's Executive Director, Mr. Greg Christie, to the media request for comment on the deplorable shooting incident of a member of the Commission. JAMP's statement read, "While we convey our deepest regret and sympathies for the troubling attack on the Commissioner's Director, we believe that the comments in its Executive Director were highly unacceptable and irresponsible. Impartiality, as well as the appearance of impartiality, are the gold standard and current for the very crucial work for the Commission performance." Mr. Christie's response has further compromised the confidence of many Jamaicans and undermined that element of impartiality that is vital in achieving their objectives. JAMP stressed that it would be the best interest of both Christie and the Commission if the Executive Director hands in his resignation. King's Counsel Peter also called on Christie to resign on Friday in a letter to the editor. Peter expressed that while Jamaica has not attained a certain level of political maturity, gatekeepers of the national integrity should not be allowed to exhibit any form of bias. According to Attorney, Christie's response to the media was reckless and betrays the very core function of what the Integrity Commission ought to represent. It provides fodder for those who want to suggest that our Integrity Commission is politically based, he continued, saying Christie's utterance must be condemned in the strongest possible terms, indicating that Christie's comments have not only compromised the credibility of the Commission, but also demonstrated a clear bias against the government. The JLP's G2K have also joined the cause for Christie's resignation. G2K unequivocally called for the immediate resignation for Mr. Greg Christie from his position as Executive Director of the Integrity Commission. The responsibilities and expectations associated with this role demand a commitment to impartiality, responsibility, and discretion. Mr. Christie's comments have not only compromised the credibility of the Commission, but have also demonstrated a clear bias against the government, damaging its reputation in the process. Police sergeant get 19 years prison sentence for raping teenage girl. A police sergeant who was convicted for raping a 16-year-old in 2019 was sentenced to 19 years and 3 months in prison. Christopher Bennett, who was stationed at the Denham Town Police Station in West Kingston, was sentenced by Justice Leighton Pusey in the Home Circuit Court. The married 37-year-old law enforcer, who had served the police for 15 years, looked utterly dejected as he struggled to stand again after the judge announced the sentence. Bennett, at the time of the incident, was head of the Denham Town Community Safety and Security Branch, and the complainant was being counseled by members of his team. During the trial, it was outlined that on June 17, 2019, the policeman offered the complainant a ride from the station and took her to the Palisades Main Road in East Kingston, where he sexually assaulted her. A report was later made to the police. After a probe, Bennett was arrested and charged. Following the sentencing, King's Counsel Peter applied for bail pending appeal, but it was denied. Cabby accused of breaking into car at gas station and stealing money to seek bail. A bail application is to be made on October 11 in the St. Catherine Parish Court for a 30-year-old taxi operator accused of breaking into a parked car at a gas station and stealing money. Andre McIntosh, who is from Greenville District in Manchester, was further remanded when he appeared in court. Allegations are that on August 18, the complainant conducted business in Constance Spring, St. Andrew, where he collected a sum of money and then placed it inside his vehicle. He then traveled to Ferry in St. Catherine, where he parked his car at a gas station and went to conduct business. On his return, he discovered that his car was broken into and that his money was missing. He subsequently made a report to the police. Following an investigation, McIntosh was arrested and later charged with larceny. Governments accused of attempting to silence opposition with new mic system in-house. The opposition People's National Party (PNP) is accusing the government of attempting to silence its members in Parliament through the implementation of a new microphone system. Natalini Tsukarve, acting leader of the opposition business in the House of Parliament, and Senator Peter Bunting, leader of the opposition business of the Senate, said in a joint statement that the new microphone system gives the Speaker power to control who speaks. The implementation of this microphone system by the Andrew Holness-led JLP government appears to be an attempt to control the opposition's ability to hold the government to account on behalf of the people, the release stated. We had repeatedly voiced our concern about the former Speaker, partisan's management of the processes in the House. Now with this new power, the Speaker will be able to muzzle whoever they don't want to hear, simply by not activating their microphone, it added. The PNP alleged that since resigned, House Speaker Marisa Dalrymple-Philibert used the new system to silence opposition member in Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives, as questions on the Integrity Commission investigation into her statutory declarations were being raised. On Tuesday, the very day the new microphone system was being introduced for the first time, the Speaker used it to prevent the opposition from being heard on a more critical matter that had brought her own status as Speaker into question. Only government members were permitted to speak, while the opposition members were denied, as if our Parliament had become a kangaroo court, the PNP said. This incident suggests an institutionalized strategy aimed at silencing the opposition in Parliament, especially when it comes to the most critical matters. It undermines the core principles of parliamentary democracy, including robust debate, accountability, and checks and balances, it added. The opposition called on Jamaicans to join in condemning the development which it described as dangerous, a slide towards autocracy within the House and an abuse of power. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell